Wyoming Cowboy is a monumental bronze sculpture I created for the University of Wyoming. The sculpture is 16 feet tall and stands proudly at the University of Wyoming, Marian, Rochelle Gateway Center in Laramie, Wyoming. You know, the silhouette of a cowboy riding a bucking horse has long been the symbol of the state of Wyoming. The cowboy astride a bucking horse represents the toughness, pride, spirit, and independence of the people, animals, and land of Wyoming. My sculpture has been modeled on the great bucking horse, Steamboat. This famous bucker was bred in Wyoming and voted the worst bucking horse for the year, which means he was the best at the Cheyenne Frontier Days celebration in 1906 and 1907. The horse was jet back with 3 white socks and had a powerful build. When he was a 3-year-old colt, he sustained a broken bone in his nose that caused him to make a whistling sound when he bucked, and that is why the cowboys gave him the name Steamboat. In creating this sculpture, I intended to show the determination and spirit of both the horse and the rider in a contest of one man against one horse. I have the horse up high in the air with his head turned, his mouth open in a squeal, coming down stiff-legged with a twist in his back and his legs kicking out, giving it everything he's got. The rider is sitting square on the horse with his right hand held high, fanning the bronc with his cowboy hand. His jaw is set and he has a determined look on his face. Because in the early days of rodeo, before they had chutes, they would blindfold and snub the broncs to another horse. They would saddle and get the cowboy mounted before jerking the blindfold and then let her buck. Because to make a qualified ride, a cowboy had to stay aboard his horse not for just 8 seconds, until it came to a standstill. The rider was not allowed to pull leather or grab any portion of the saddle. He was allowed to fan the horse with his hat, which stressed up the ride and made the horse buck harder. Because there never was a horse that couldn't be rode, or there never was a cowboy that couldn't be thrown. That's why just 4 weeks before the dedication when I'm cowboy, I was involved in a bad horse wreck and had to be life-flighted. I suffered 7 broken ribs, a shattered collarbone, a broken shoulder blade, a collapsed lung, a concussion, a few spider cracks in my spine. I was in the hospital for 3 days. My wife Lynn had to drive 650 miles to come get me and my horse. God bless her. Because without her, I don't know what I would have done, because she helped me finish and deliver Wyoming Cowboy, and now it stands proudly at the entrance of the University of Wyoming. Cowboy Tough is another bronze sculpture, a Steamboat, that was commissioned by the University of Wyoming. This is a sculpture that is placed at the entrance to the University of Wyoming War Memorial Stadium. I delivered the sculpture the first year of head coach Glenn's tenure, and he started the tradition of coaches and players touching the sculpture when taking the field. It is an honor to see the players take the field and touch my sculpture for Cowboy Mojo and good luck. I also painted the large 9-foot Cowboy Tough boot that is on display at the stadium. You know, being from Wyoming and having ridden broncs, I have always loved the design of a cowboy riding a bucking horse. In fact, I've used my Wyoming Cowboy sculpture in jewelry that I've designed, and I even painted on the tail of my airplane. So go Cowboys!